side of the hallway. And again, that's for the unscheduled tracks, if you want to say something on your own. And we have all kinds of activities downstairs, like we were talking about. Please don't turn off the hotel TVs in the lobby. I know it's tempting. I think we put black tape over it anyway to help them out. But the hotel's been great to us, and we're glad that it's still standing. I think to ensure that it keeps standing, let's treat it with respect, the respect it deserves, and who knows what the future will hold. So, shall we want to give the official intro? Oh.
Caught me a little bit unprepared there. Are you guys ready to go? Okay, Philip Tyrone, Lady Ada, give them a round of applause.
All right, well, we have a special announcement about cell phones. So we have cell phone jammers up here, so...
First you don't have to worry about turning off your cell phone.
Yeah, it actually doesn't matter, so sorry, you can't Twitter or use your cell phone right now. Aw. Yeah. All right, so I'm Phil Tyrone, and this is Lamar Freed.
Hello.
A little bit about us before we get started, so you know what you're in store for. I'm senior editor of Make Magazine. You guys hear Make? Yay, Make! Because people always ask. We're now around almost 4 years. We have 125,000 circulation, around 45,000 subscribers. The website has a lot of people who visit it, which is great because there's a huge community of people building things and sending their projects to us now. Our Maker Faire that we do every year is up to 65,000 people. So it's a giant event in San Francisco. We also do one in Austin. And here's some of the things that we've been up to at Make. You can see some of the covers. We're quarterly, so it comes out every few months. Then we branched into craft for people who like to do more of the softer side, literally, of hacking. And then we decided that, well, what other weird thing can we do? So we have a Japanese version, which is kind of taking off, which is great. And I actually I can't really read Japanese, but it looks cooler in Japanese. So. And this is Lamore, her business, Adafruit.
Yep. So.
You could probably just look at the screen.
I can see the screen just
okay.
forward. So 2 years ago, I sort of talked about the Wave Bubble project. This is an open source RF jammer, which is actually, if you look, it kind of looks like this. This is the beta. And basically, you know, I've just been releasing open source hardware, electronic kits, basically more soldering, microcontroller programming, firmware, analog, digital, that kind of stuff, because I think that's kind of interesting, and I found that a lot of people are also interested in building these sorts of technologies, especially technologies that are illegal. For example, it's illegal to own, use, operate, sell a cell phone jammer. So, I mean, you can buy them, but there's a chance that those stores will be shut down. But what's cool is that if you know a little bit of hardware, a little bit of soldering, you can create your own cell phone jammer using parts from Mouser and DigiKey. So for like $100 of parts, you can build your own. So and there's no way to stop people from buying these components because they're just everyday electronics. And that's what I like. It's creating something interesting from stuff you find around you. So.
This was in a cab. You know when they're driving and they're talking and they're swerving all over? Yeah. So. And you know what? It's not even being passive-aggressive. I'm like, hey, watch out, you almost hit that person. Hey, you know, you should probably get off the phone. Like, you're not supposed to be on the phone. And he's like, whatever. And then, and there was a lot of, hello, can you hear me now? Can you hear me now? Anyways, so that's an action shot. You guys will enjoy if you're visiting the cab situation. Maybe build a cell phone jammer.
This is another project that I did a couple years ago, which is a Bleepy Bloopy Box. It's an open source TV303 clone, so that's a synthesizer from 20 years ago, more, actually from 1984, that was discontinued by Roland, Japan. But a lot of people still want these synthesizer boxes, so a friend of mine and I, when I was in college, decided, hey, let's reverse engineer it. And because there's no patents valid anymore, because it's been more than 20 years, let's make a clone that, again, you can build using off-the-shelf parts, and you can make this synthesizer no longer available. It goes for $2,000 on eBay. You can build your own for $200. And here's some, blinky light kits. I just wanted to show a couple projects so you see where we're coming from. This is a LED bicycle wheel animation kit, so you can make it Pac-Man when you bike. Like, And I also did some sort of small educational kits. This is the Mini Pop kit. This is just making your own Persistence of Vision toys for like under $17. And I like the idea of low-cost introductory electronics.
Yeah, this one, when you wave it, it spells out words.
So
can
what's
tell.
cool is that Mitch Altman, who's giving the talk after this, and you should definitely stay for, he said, well, you know, I want to build this brain machine, which is this thing that makes you trip. I don't know. It didn't work for me. But like, he's a real child of the 70s, so he can explain it to you, and I'm sure he will in an hour. And he took this Mini Pop kit and he modified it, and he even gives workshops now, and I think he's giving a workshop either today or tomorrow on how to build these using the Mini Pop kits. That's cool. And this is an Altoids tin MP3 charger, so it's another small educational kit. And this is another thing I worked with Mitch Altman on. He invented the TV Be Gone, which is that little remote control you can turn off TVs. But the problem with the TV Be Gone is although it's awesome and it turns off many TVs, it only works up to like 30 feet, which is totally not enough. So we worked together to build a version that can go up to 200 feet. And
Yeah, this one made its debut at CES. I don't know if you saw.
so it can turn off a lot of TVs. It's good. It has like 4 LEDs and it's like wide and narrow. And what's cool is that there's a community on the forum of people who are modifying this kit and they're like, 4 is not enough. I need 18 LEDs. It needs a 6-volt battery pack. I need it to be attached to my cap, and so everywhere I look, TVs turn off. There's this hacking and modification of these existing technologies, and because it's all open source, there's no like, oh, I have to understand what the chip is and extract the firmware and use ACID to take the dye out. No. It's all open source. It's easy to hack. It's kickstarted, so you just go in and say, oh, how do I connect extra LEDs? Oh, I just add them on. That's it. Okay, cool. This is a hack that I can do, and if you're younger, this will get you started so that you can continue on to more advanced hacking. And then lately I've been working on Arduino-based projects. That's an open source microcontroller platform. So this is a DIY GPS logger and tracker. So maybe next Hope or the next conference we go to, we'll talk about some of the projects we're doing with that.
How many people here know about Arduino or playing around? Yeah, wow.
That's a lot.
So that number, every time we're out, it's...
It was like 6 people.
Yeah,
last
before it
time.
was like one guy was like, Arduino.
Yay! So what we're going to be talking about today, and this is a new kit, is a SIM card reader kit. So I don't actually own a cell phone because I own a cell phone jammer and they're not very compatible. But I think it's interesting that, a couple years ago, maybe 10 years ago, everyone was like really into reading mag stripes. But nowadays, we don't really, now there's actually like RFID style cards. But it's interesting that I never actually learned about SIM cards, and even though they're in almost every phone, and the technology behind SIM cards is really interesting, but all the information I tried to find online was really kind of archaic. It actually was difficult for me to understand. So I wanted to build something that, even though this is sort of an older technology, makes it really easy and straightforward to understand how SIM cards work and why they're secure and how you can crack that security.
And one other thing that this is a project that we worked on together was we decided to start a laser etching business, an open source laser etching business in New York City. So we got this laser, it was $20,000, and we paid it off in about 6 months. And what we were doing is laser etching laptops. So if you've seen laptops around, we etch these. So we take perfectly good Macs and void the warranties, and people pay us. Go figure. Steve Jobs' nightmare. We also tried to do other things, like this is food. We put sushi instructions on nori. So
we put the faces of people we don't like on tortillas, and then we eat them. And like
yeah.
it's like a weird like laser etching millennial